We're going to call the Londonderry Energy Committee meeting to order. First thing is that I forgot what the first thing on the agenda was. We were going to talk about the report that we were going to be doing for the council. Can we pick a date to present?
I mean, the problem here is that, you know, I think Rick correctly identified a problem with our data. The fact that the school is paying twice the kilowatt hour rate that the town is, which probably isn't true.
Can you speak up just a little bit?
Yeah, pull that closer. He's got so many books there, he's hidden.
Yeah.
We don't have any agendas here, so.
So
I didn't print out the agenda.
the challenge is there's a lot of material here. I mean, I got about 7 inches of data, and I don't know if it's going to be easy to find the problem or it's going to take a long time. So I'm really reluctant to lock us into a date
To a date.
for the council, not knowing how big of an issue this is.
Okay.
On the other hand, I also realize that we're getting into budget season and the council's time is going to become
Null and void.
very, very precious. So, and you know, I was really hoping that if we were going to recommend a capital project, that we could get it in the budget. I think it might be worth talking to Mike and just saying if we can put in a wedge or a pro forma
Can you see? I'm sorry.
bit of, you know, consulting money that we could use for energy efficiency, which could end up being energy audit, other consulting services to help us choose between the aggregators or, you know, what or just engineering review of the proposals that we might get. So
Okay.
if we could get, if that's feasible, if he could do that, then I think, you know, we're okay, even if necessary, holding off until, you know, budget season is over, which was late January, say. And that would still give us time if there's something important to put into the town warrant for the March meeting.
I
Warrants have to be in though before that.
yeah, they
Deadline for the warrants is January 10th.
yeah, it's
at
pretty close.
5 p.m.
Okay.
Is there no way we could have it on October 17th meeting?
I don't know. That's the
Because
problem.
Like all the meetings in November are all budget related for the town council.
I know.
So the last meeting like that's not budget related is the 17th.
I mean, even if it isn't a totally perfect
Yeah.
presentation, but something so that we're out there and we can actually ask for the funds to be, you know, pushed over there or how we could do that. I mean, because at the last town council meeting, I don't know if you all saw it, but it was Mike Malaguti brought up the part about the aggregate. And basically they said, we had an aggregate committee, which nobody can find minutes or who was on it, and they think that they talked about it, they never really did it. It was before before COVID, and then when COVID hit, it just fell through the cracks because that whole freedom thing came up at the meeting, at the town council meeting. And so I said, why do we have to form another group, aggregate group, when we already have our group? And we've got
right.
2 people who represent the school, Woolley from DPW, Budget Committee, a state rep, a town councilor, conservation. Do you know what I mean? Like, why do we need to form another group? And we've already been listening to these guys and kind of have an understanding of it. They said they would get back to us
Yeah.
and talk to us about it. But on the same vein,
Who's they, the council?
Yeah.
they would have a discuss. They wanted to go to the
They wanted to look
lawyers
into the legal
aspects of it.
what illegal had to be for the aggregate committee.
Yeah, they said it's some about state laws, and I really didn't understand what they were getting at, but
Is this the last council meeting?
Yeah.
yes. at the very end of the meeting.
Monday.
Well, when Mike gives his town manager report.
Yeah,
But the other thing that I went to was I'm a liaison to the Solid Waste Committee, and they were interested in what we were doing, and Lynn Wiles and myself had a conversation, and I've also had this conversation with Marge, and I think, you know, our group needs to evolve into an environmental resource committee, which would, under it would fall water, recycling, energy, and conservation, you know, because it's all kind of connected. And, you know, your commissions would stay the same, but maybe, you know, once every 3 months, all of them would get together
yeah.
and meet and have a
Joint meeting.
collaborative meeting. Because we're all moving kind of in the same direction, but from different points. And it might be more productive to be, you know, getting together and pulling things on point that can connect. And so that was another thing that when we did do our presentation, I was hoping to be able to present to the council that the group itself needs to kind of evolve so that we can being, and I hate to use this word because everybody gets negative things about it, but being more progressive in resources and making sure we're retaining enough clean, good, reusable, affordable resources for the town. And so, I don't know, I'd like everybody's opinion on what I just said. I'm sorry to turn my back to you.
That's all right.
But that was something I was thinking about adding to this whole presentation, because this way they can kind of digest it a little bit and have questions, and then by the time, you know, the new council comes around in March, it will all be hopefully in place.
Can I just go back to?
Yeah, you can do anything you'd like.
As an alternative to sort of not doing anything right now with the council, we could pencil in a presentation on October
17th.
17th.
Yeah.
Because it's easier to cancel something
And squeeze it in.
than it is to add it. And then if I just can't figure this out, number one, we could just say I can't figure it out, but number two, we could just take more, cancel that night and take more time and keep working at it. I'd have no idea what's here and what it's gonna take to figure it out and reproduce Rick's work. So that's another possibility, is to just say tentatively, we would like to get on the agenda for the 17th.
Okay.
I would like to plan to get together again with, well, I talked to Amy too. I sent Amy Finnemore an email. And supposedly the guy who's the facility manager for the schools and the finance manager are supposed to reach out to me. They said today or tomorrow. Tomorrow's not a great day for me, but if I get a message, at least, so I'm still trying to set up a meeting with them that maybe they can give me some, what I kind of asked for from them preliminarily is the fuel usage for anything under the school
Domain.
domain.
In their budget, right.
And, and so everything for electricity and any fuel that they use. I don't know what fuels they use and where they use them. But if they could give me an idea of the totals that they have for a year's period of time, which I don't know if that, I mean, this was a question that I kept asking Rick, and I never got an answer that was a very direct number. So I wanted costs and usage on the school side. Then he wanted us to go back to the town side, to Justin, and ask him to review again
What we have, right.
what we have. So I don't mind if I can squeeze that into my schedule. I definitely will try to do that. with those two sources, because I think that if we went directly to them and they could kind of give us, and it would be nice if we could both work within the same year period, for both,
Yeah,
then,
right.
then we could, you know, at least have an idea. And,
Yeah, I'm hoping as a first approximation, I could just go into the school budget and see what they're budgeting for energy.
yeah,
But I don't know if it's that simple, so I have to do that
Right,
look,
and-
but at least say, you know,
So
Rick's,
we have a comment to state your name.
Christine Perez,
Okay.
Londonderry. I had to get that information from my community, and the very best place, if you can get a amount of money, but that doesn't tell you your usage.
no,
At all.
obviously.
I went to Eversource and got the
They
usage.
won't give you the town information.
They won't? I went to, well, they gave us my community's information, and I went to Liberty to get the other, because monies don't tell you really what's going on, so.
Right,
it's just
that's
not-
why I want usage and cost.
Yeah.
But it's
I
not
want
just
both.
electricity we're looking at.
Right.
Oh, I
We're
know,
looking
but-
at oil and propane
Right,
and gas.
gas,
Natural
well, yeah, I
gas.
went to Liberty for the, for the gas.
Right.
and Eversource, okay, I'll keep my mouth shut.
No, no,
No.
don't. We like people
No, that, I
participating.
mean, that's exactly what we're trying to get to.
I think based on the last meeting though, I think we have a presentation we can make, at least a short one. You know,
Yeah.
at least let them know where we are, an update on where the council, know where we're
Yeah,
at.
I think they're
where our task force is
anticipating
at.
us doing something.
You know, at
Um,
least I'm sure we could all talk for 5 minutes, you know, I'm sure on what we've done. You know, present something to the council, so they at least know what direction we're headed in.
We can, but I do like your idea that if we can't get to these, you know, numbers, that we ask for, you know, like the energy audit is probably a good idea. And how are we gonna know otherwise,
right,
you know?
I agree.
It seems like they're getting the information, it's hodgepodge. It's not like you can't just go to one source and they just go, yep, here it is. And you would think that it would be, like you would think it would be very organized on both sides, but I was
I
surprised.
would think so too. I would think that they would have a category for each thing, and they would be able to run a total, but I don't know why they can't do that.
I can't speak.
I don't
for-
know how they keep their books. I've never looked at them. I don't know.
It might be in here. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet.
Yeah. So, anything else on this subject matter? Did we come to a decision?
I think we should present something.
And
All right, so
That's
who
my-
thinks,
one of,
who thinks we should present something on October 17th? Whether
I
it's,
do.
we still need more information,
I think
but this is what we've done so far.
we're pretty confident on the town side.
Yeah.
Which is what they represent. So if worse came to worse, we could just say, we don't know what this, we haven't got our data yet on the school side, but here's what we did on the town side. So there's some numbers, so they know what we're talking about. Because, you know,
Okay,
I
so
mean,
we
what
should-
they want to know
What
is
if
that
we
it's,
just present the town side to the town council?
Yeah, well, that's all I had
Yeah,
planned on
just,
doing.
just the town side, that's it.
Huh?
Don't mention the school yet.
well, you know.
And say that we're working on the school.
Well, it might be here.
Oh, right, so,
So,
just
you
saying.
know, let me try.
yeah.
And I
Oh,
mean, we
no,
can
Alright, no, no, it's
really, that'd be
communicate
great.
by
okay,
email.
and if I can work on what I'm trying to work on my end, you can work on that.
Yeah, and then let me
we can
know.
see
Yeah,
Where
right,
we're at,
right.
yeah.
So who wants to get
But
it
I
on the
think
agenda?
that,
I'll put it on.
I
Okay.
don't think it's a bad idea to ask for,
A bucket.
you know.
We're
a
gonna
lit-
need a
little-
bucket anyway. I
some-
mean,
Some little bucket for, and I think the energy audit is a good idea. I used to work for a company that was an energy services company, and I could call them and just see if they can give me, you
A
know, a
guesstimation?
ballpark of what they would charge for energy audit. Obviously, they're a private company, and, I don't know,
Yeah,
but,
yeah, do.
that would be good if you did that. I really do, because
okay.
just a guesstimation.
Yeah.
So that we could say that. And then even if we don't get it for this year, at least it's there, and then we can get it into next year as well. Right?
Right, right.
And
Yeah,
just keep trying to
mean-
move this forward. I
Yeah,
mean, I don't wanna.
If I can give him, give him, I think that I can get maybe a ballpark out of them, and let's see what I can do.
All right, so that's pretty much everything on the presentation. Mike is gonna work on trying to figure out that mess over there. Either way, we're gonna present something. I'll get us on the agenda for October 17th. We'll present something. So that's pretty much the presentation part of it. The other thing we had to talk about is we had, now two people have stepped down.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Rick and Sue.
So,
Sue Foley. Her work was too much of a conflict, but we had two people apply and say that they were interested. And that would be Janice Harvey and Ann Fenn, both whose applications come in. So what we have to do is to have a discussion about those people and see if we want to recommend them, and the council makes the ultimate decision. So I'm putting that out there to the group. Everybody can speak up and say what they want.
I
Okay.
think we should recommend that Ray becomes a full member,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
because Ray is not a
Ray
full
is an
member.
alternate.
Ray's an
Okay.
alternate,
Yep,
and that would give us 6 of us. And then we recommend that the 2 new people be alternates. And then we still have 1 alternate slot
we
open.
should have a.
Should be an odd number.
Odd number, yes.
Well, it's 6 members.
We should have
And
an
then-
odd number of
And
members.
the chair.
Hold on,
6 in the
6
chair.
members plus
Oh,
Deb.
plus the chair,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
So there's
So
seven.
that was set up by the town council.
Yeah.
So
okay,
they set it up so there's 6 members, 3 alternates, and Deb.
okay.
So that we have 7 voting members.
So we're short
Okay.
1 alternate.
Yeah.
We're still looking for one
For
more.
one
Yeah.
alternate,
Yeah.
okay.
But there's no problem having 2, I don't think, is there?
No,
No,
no.
no, there's not a as long as we have enough on the board.
So, I mean, am I missing something, or did
Sure.
we see the little form that they fill out saying what their qualifications were, or?
We did not see that yet. Did they fill
No,
that form?
Kirby,
No,
Kirby has.
Okay.
Kirby has those, I happen to know Ann Fenn, I was the one that asked her if she was interested in doing this. She, worked for the EPA in, Boston, regionally for years. And she, has a pretty strong background. She was on the Water Task Force, under Tom Dolan. She's lived in Londonderry for many, many years. She's running right now for state rep. I don't know if that makes a difference.
Why
Well,
would that make a
I know
difference?
Ann too, and I'd recommend her.
Yeah,
So
And Janice came here to the last meeting and introduced herself to us. She's a younger girl, longtime old family, and we can get those to you,
Yeah.
Mike, and send them to you, but that, I mean, if anything that we get done tonight, we could at least move Ray forward.
Yeah,
as a-
I
as
think,
a
I think
full-time
Ray's
member.
done a good job here. And I think that our recommendation to the council might sway them. to Give Ray the members, the
I
full-time.
don't know, can we put Ray as full-time?
We
Or
have
do
to
they-
go-
it does
we
have to go to the
them.
council.
We can
Yeah.
recommend to them,
Right,
I'm
So-
all for that.
yeah.
So this way we have a full board at
Yeah.
least,
right.
okay?
And this
then,
this other girl, who came
Janice.
to last, Janice, she seemed to, have some kind of, background in energy.
She went to
and
school
she's
for
very-
environmental studies,
yeah,
and she was
she-
very into energy and
And interested in it.
interested in getting involved. And I personally just love when young kids step forward.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody under the age of 30 steps up, it's like, yay! Somebody's
So-
got some energy.
Do we have to get that on the agenda for the 3rd? For the next council meeting, which is on October 10th,
The Ray thing, yes.
October
and
3rd,
I
October
think-
3rd is the next council meeting, sorry.
Okay, and
The
I
10th
think
is
Mike didn't feel comfortable, so we'll make sure that Mike gets, and everybody actually gets, Ann and, I gotta get him from Kirby, Ann and
Yeah.
Janice's,
Forms.
Yep,
Their
And-
talent bank form.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
And I don't think that we have to actually, I mean, if everybody sees it and they respond only to me,
Mhm.
yeah, I like that person, we could add that to the agenda on that council
That's what I
meeting.
was saying, yeah. And then we could say the Energy Task Force recommends Ray a full-time member and these 2 as a part-time. and whatever
Alternate.
alternate, and whatever our opinion, you know, well,
And
we
that
said
we
that
still have another opening and have
Yeah,
Kirby
the
put it up
task-
on
yeah.
the site.
the task
Yeah.
force recommends this, and you guys do as you see fit.
Right.
Keep in mind that their practice is to interview people that are,
Right, so they would have to come to that
to
town
make
council
sure that
meeting.
those three people can,
Yep, so what will happen is Kirby will call, she'll call Ann and she'll call Janice.
Janice
and
and
she'll
Ray.
say, Can you come to the next meeting?
Right.
And then the council will call them up and they'll have like a 5-minute
yeah, right.
time to talk and then the
Yeah,
council
they
will
didn't
vote.
seem all that interested when I applied.
Yeah,
Well, because that night that happened, that we
Yeah.
had 5 applicants for 5 positions
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
So it was kind of,
so,
Yeah,
but,
Yeah, all right, so
So as a-
I guess
Yeah.
that's the step.
so as a,
that's what,
so
definitely
do you
do
put
that.
that on the agenda then?
Yeah,
Energy
I'll
task,
send
Energy Task Force wants to have
a presentation, no,
No.
to appoint,
yeah,
to have the resignation read and, you know, the thank you done.
yeah,
And then the appointments of people.
perfect. So we're gonna recommend, actually, we're gonna see the forms first.
Right.
And I would have no objection to
I have
Ann.
no objection.
I have no objection.
I mean,
So I want you to.
Based
No, but you should look at them.
No,
yeah,
sure.
based on what you've said, I think I could support it too, but as a matter of due diligence, we
Yeah,
should.
no,
We should
absolutely.
have it, we should
Absolutely.
have them. So if you don't mind emailing me
Nope,
to remind me, because
I don't mind at all.
I have a very spaghetti-like brain, spaghetti
Is-
strainer,
and,
everything goes through it.
Kirby could email that to Mike, right? Both
Yes.
forms, you could scan them in and just email it to him so he doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. so-
Oh, yeah.
Well,
She
everybody should
send
get
them
it.
to
Yeah.
The
all
whole,
of
the
us.
whole
that-
committee. Or she can send them to me and I can send them to everyone. Either way.
I would say to Deb, and I'll call Kirby.
Okay.
I'll call Kirby I'll call her tomorrow and have her send them to you. Then you can send them up to us.
Okay.
Perfect. Let's see, what else did you have on the agenda?
It's the chair
Public
squeaking.
comment.
Squeaking.
Does anybody from the public have anything to say? Now's the time to say it. I feel like that girl in Kill Bill. I'm not running across the table with a
That's
head.
one of the only movies that I actually walked out of.
Oh, I loved it.
I thought I would too, because that was my ex-husband's name, but it didn't go that.
Do you have anything? No?
No?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything, Mike? Anything to bring forward or?
First, before we close, we have to accept the minutes.
Okay, I need a motion to accept the
Yes,
minutes.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay.
Perfect. And schedule the next meeting.
Well, I think also I wanted to talk about
Okay.
next steps for next year.
Okay.
After we get through all of this, I think that we have to think about next steps for next year, which was kind of going on the vein of what I was speaking about earlier, that I spoke about with, the Solid Waste Committee.
Mhm.
I'd just like everyone's opinion on that, what they think about changing the group from just energy. I mean, we would focus in on energy, but we would also be connecting to those other groups and making it under the umbrella of the Londonderry Environmental Committee or Environmental Resource Committee. So this way, when they want ready and they put the water lines in and they'll be able to just throw a water committee right underneath it. And it would probably be part of extension
I
off
have
of
no
sewer.
objection to that. I think communicating with all the people that are involved around these issues is a very good idea.
I just think there's so much overlap in each, I mean, when I go to these meetings, we're all talking about exactly the same stuff.
Yep.
We're all talking about the electric cars, we're all talking about the solar panels, we're all talking about how we can do a better job. So I just think we're all talking on the same issues, you know?
So what specifically is your proposal? How many groups would fall under the umbrella? I'm still trying to follow.
Well, it would be solid waste, conservation, probably beautify Londonderry. I mean, even the green team would be there was stuff they wanted us to do. This group, and then eventually a water. So those are our resources, right? The only one missing really is air, clean air. But
So who would be
and
the
that
head?
all should really be. We need to have somebody from planning board because all of these things end up having to have some sort of ordinances attached to them. So like when we talk about solar panels for houses, right? They gotta have some sort of, regulations, you know, you just don't want someone to take their whole front yard and turn it into a solar field, right? So there's gotta be certain regulations about it.
Yeah.
And same thing with the electrical cars, you know, if you might wanna put an electric charging station at your house, just for your own car. You know, what are the rules? What are the things that you can and cannot do? So a lot of this stuff, so that's why I think planning really needs to kind
You're
of,
talking more code enforcement, though. You're talking more,
that goes after planning. You need the ordinance first to be able to enforce the code. Right?
All right,
But I
so-
mean, that to me,
so
you know,
the-
and eventually we're gonna need a water committee. I mean, if we're gonna move forward with going after the money that they have at Concord, right, for water, that people need city water. We're gonna have to wide pipes, this thing, you know, the plans get put in place. There's gonna have to be a committee, you know, working to make sure that there are phases and that people are going through it and it, you know, because otherwise, we're gonna have to grow the town government. So you have a choice. You do it by board, committee, volunteers, right? Hey, Ray. Or you end up doing it by paying all these town
Glad you
people. And
Thank
I
you,
think
sir.
the more frugal way
Unfortunately, I'm late.
and tapping into the
Your seat's right over
intelligence
there.
of our community, there's a lot of smart
They're gonna
people
make
out
you
there that
over
know
there.
a lot of
smart
things. And,
people.
I mean,
So in your, who would be in charge of these 5 committees?
I have no idea.
See, but you're saying like someone overhead, not the town council then, overseeing them.
No, it would run like a planning board or a concert, you know, yeah, I guess everything comes under the town. But this would affect town and school.
No, there's a novel idea.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it would be a hybrid. It would have to, it just fits the group, right? We would be hybrids.
Well,
I just
We-
think it's a conversation and I think we
it
need to
is
get
a
ahead of it.
conversation, but there has to be a bridge built first.
I understand, but I mean, conceptually, you really need to think of it as a bigger picture. The
Yeah.
bigger picture is if we can get a lot, like, look at how much work we did for free. If the town had to pay to get the information that we got, it would have cost a couple of $1,000s, if not more, as well as employees' time. So the town has a choice. You either get more people involved and more volunteers doing a lot of the legwork and data finding and putting it together, and then they do the nitty gritty of the actual.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
does that
whole-
make sense, or am I
Well,
crazy?
I'm thinking is that, like, so you've got conservation. So they have their own agenda they're doing, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
then you're gonna put another head on top of them, on top of the town council, is what you're saying, right? So they're gonna have like a,
No.
they're gonna have more bureaucracy, so to speak, as opposed to less. Cause you're building 5 people under
No,
one
and when I
roof.
say that,
So I'm-
it's just that there would be like every 3 or 4 months, there would be a joint meetings of these groups so that they're all moving in the same direction.
that was-
Conservation may come up and say, you know, we found this new water source in town.
Okay.
And, you know, the water committee might say, well, you know what, let's write a proposal to the funding place in Concord to try to get funds for it. Or, you know what, we have this field, we would like to take a part of it and put in some solar panels
Yeah.
or something.
But
and-
you are saying two different things.
Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
then I'm not-
'Cause I-
My
okay,
thing,
thank you.
just let me,
I just wanted to make sure.
just let me
I wasn't-
I think it's the
for
wrong
one
way
thing.
I'm saying it.
The,
It's not an
The-
umbrella, it's a,
it's not an umbrella, it's not a new thing that sort of heads up all of those
no,
others.
no.
It's like, basically, it's like a request that we would send out to all of those committees saying, we feel that we have some interests in common. Could we plan for a meeting where all of us would gather together to discuss? And at that point, we should know what the commonality is
Yeah.
and, name the issue that
I
we
got you.
all
Thank you,
want to
Mark.
discuss.
'Cause
Does
I-
that?
that is much better.
Well, or
Thank
you could
I
do it,
understand.
do it the other way, so you have your
Olivia.
your resource
Yeah.
committee on the bottom, and what comes out of it is everything
So
else.
would you recommend that a person, we have 10 members if we're full. Would you recommend one person from each committee meeting? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying all like 40 people getting together?
No.
I wouldn't say 40 people, no.
I'm just, if you get, well, you got 5 committees right here.
Yeah, just like
So-
a representative from each.
Okay.
Just getting together and seeing if there is any, you know,
Okay, that's-
connections or
with
overlays
that.
that,
I'm
Yeah,
good.
know-
or a couple, you
Yeah.
know.
hey,
Yeah.
we're working on this, do you think you
excuse
wanna
me.
partner with?
Is this a regular meeting, or are we just having a discussion?
It's a meeting,
It's a
Ray.
meeting, Ray, you can
We are in
discuss.
session, Ray.
We're in session, Ray.
Are you taking public comment?
We are.
We are, we
We
actually
already did
have
public comment,
twice.
Ray.
Twice I raised my hand and they acknowledged me. That's what I was gonna say. I was just gonna say you need a representative, because more people, you get nothing done.
Yeah.
Right. If we had like a couple of representatives from each group come,
Yeah,
you know, identify what the issue is and, you know, say it might be a good idea if we discuss this all together so we know which direction you're looking in. Is that the same one we're looking in?
yeah, so efforts are not duplicated, and if they are, maybe they can enhance each other.
Right, because I mean, we've already found that with investigating the town and schools, that there's duplication of stuff.
Yeah.
And they're
I'm-
not all
I'm just trying to
talking.
make it more streamlined
think-
and more efficient.
Martha, you made it much simpler than.
Okay.
And-
Deb was kind of talking to you, so I'm sorry, Deb, you were just, like,
I
So,
was,
I like what you're
it's
saying.
all in my
That's right.
head, but
Yes.
but
I couldn't
what,
get it out.
what you guys just discussed would make sense. Having like, we'll say, 10 people meet
Right,
from those 5 different boards and get together, and then you have someone like,
And it's not like every month
Um,
either. Like
yeah.
it could be like every quarter or something like that. And they might be for 5 minutes because nothing's going on.
Excuse me, can you just bring me up to date what you're talking about?
All right, so what
So,
we talked
Ray,
about, you want to give
okay,
them the
I guess
synopsis?
so.
I don't have a clue what the hell you're
I
talking
know,
about.
so Ray got here
I'm
late,
sorry.
so.
All right. Yeah, no, we're just happy you showed up.
So Ray, the first thing that we did is we recommended you to become a full-time member.
I thought I was.
No,
That's
You're an
okay.
alternate.
you're not.
I usually
Now
try,
you'll be a
I usually try to show up.
So we're gonna need you to go to the town council meeting on 10/3.
Why?
No, tense.
10/3.
Why?
October 3rd.
No, 10/3.
What for? What,
October 3rd, so you can present to the council that you
noise?
wanna be a full-time member.
I gotta present to the council that I wanna be a full-time member.
No, they
Just
may
say-
want to interview you.
Yeah.
What?
They
They
may
may
want
wanna
to
interview
interview
you.
you.
Then what we're talking about right now is that, Deb mentioned having the solid waste committee, the Beautify Londonderry Energy Committee, Conservation Committee,
And
All-
potentially a water committee.
Peninsula Water Committee, all have a representative and meet like once every quarter.
Oh,
Because we would be the environmental resources for the town.
that because we feel that we may have overlapping interests
oh,
with
so
those
wait a minute,
groups.
we're changing our agenda here.
Right.
I mean, all of that, I think,
We're still gonna have the same agenda, we're just augmenting it.
well, okay.
Because there's lots of things sometimes they
Oh.
might know that we don't know that
Oh.
it can help.
Excuse me, we're accepting opinion here?
Yeah,
Okay, all right. All of this is a great idea. Okay, but we're the Energy Task Force, okay? That's what we've been, given to do,
Task
okay?
force.
What you're talking about here is absolutely a great idea. But I think we're getting off track a little bit, with all due respect, okay?
well, we're talking about what we're gonna do next year,
Oh, okay, next year.
not
Wait
now.
wait a minute.
No,
How about
that
now?
was left
Wait,
out.
Okay.
That was left out.
What?
What we're going to do now.
Next steps.
What
Oh.
we talked about, what we're going to do now is that we're going to, still go back to the town and to the schools and try to quantify their usage for electricity and fuels and costs for electricity and fuels.
Okay, so where are we at now? Where are we at with the schools, for instance, on their
Got those
costs?
3 books
We
right
have
there.
those 3 books that Mike is gonna try to see if he can make any sense of it. And supposedly Ann Finnemore contacted them again for me, and that they're supposed to reach out to me. She said today or tomorrow, they didn't contact me today, so tomorrow, to meet with the facilities manager and the, finance director.
Okay,
Right.
and that's what needs to happen, and, you know, it'd been nice if it, it happened already, it hasn't, so absolutely, we need to do that.
Right.
But, you know, that big book down there has got an awful lot of information in it. How much of it is up to date? What year is that?
Haven't looked at it yet.
Well, okay, so,
I believe
I
it's
think it's probably
2021.
as of, you know, three or so months ago when Rick pulled it all together, would be
Yeah.
my guess,
okay, so you think it is current?
reasonably.
Yeah, reasonably, I mean, it's not,
I mean, it's not 2022. Is it?
I think it's 2021, because they haven't done 2022.
Right, more than likely, that's what it is,
Yeah.
yeah. But as we know, everything is changing really rapidly, as far as fuel, as far as electricity, all of that. So, we gotta go with the information we got, absolutely,
Right.
you know. But looking to the future, wow, who knows what the hell we got? You know, so, I think, Mike, you mentioned, Ray, why don't you go through that? And last meeting, I kind of said, oh, I don't think that's me. I'm perfectly willing, I'll open the book up, I'll look through it, but I'm not sure I'm gonna understand it.
Right, well, who knows if I will, but I'm gonna try.
We're gonna do our best to get to where we need
Maybe
to
you've
get.
got a little more expertise. You know, if you want me to help you, I'm glad to help you, if I can be any help.
If I can figure out a way to have you help, I will.
Yes, you know, perhaps we all have different backgrounds, different expertise. Hopefully, we have some, and you know, that's kind of, we kind of have to. Who does it best? Martha does pretty well.
Not with that stuff.
No, well, I know. Now, we're missing a couple of people.
Yeah, we are missing some people tonight.
Mike, is it Mike? He said he was going to be away anyway, right?
Bob.
Bob?
Bob had surgery.
Oh, okay. Hope
Was
he's
it-
okay.
He should be, cataract surgery.
Oh, yeah.
So he couldn't make it, and Mike was on vacation, but now Mike's back. Rick has resigned because of health issues,
Yeah.
and then we're all here, and then
Yeah, I thought we had a couple of new
Foley
people.
Resigned and
resigned because of work, and
And
Doug
Doug-
Thomas is at the Deerfield Fair.
Well, I guess,
That's where
okay.
he is.
I'm not going to say anything there because I'd be getting in trouble.
Let's get us
Okay.
back on track
Okay.
here.
So, but I'm just saying, so
So-
we have two open
That's-
positions. You're moving up to a full-time, then we have two alternates, we've got actually three alternates in which we have to fill.
Christine, are you leaving?
No, I'm not, I have to give something.
Let's get us back on
Okay,
track here.
let's get
We were
back on
talking
track.
about the next, I think we should have a next meeting before we present on the 17th.
I definitely
Is
agree.
anybody available on the 13th of October? This room is open. There's nobody in it at the moment.
If it's not a long meeting, I can make it. It's my daughter's 21st birthday, though. So,
I have a meeting at 5:30 that day.
And do you think we should have a quick meeting though, just to get our facts together before we present?
You said the 13th, right?
Yeah, it's a Thursday.
I think it's most important for, at least for Mike to be there, because Mike's the one who's putting it all together. So the date has to meld with him, first and foremost.
I can do the 13th.
Okay.
Okay,
I mean,
so
and if I'm not
Ray, are you
here,
available on
Martha
the
can.
13th?
I'm not, I have a meeting.
You
I'll have to
meeting.
check
I have
my
a meeting
calendar at
on-
home.
Okay.
I don't have it
Okay.
in my phone. Perhaps you're talking, it's a Thursday?
Yeah.
So I can find out what's happening at that meeting and if it's important that I be there, but I do have something scheduled.
Okay.
And like I said, it's my daughter's 21st birthday. Yes, Miss Perez.
Has Doug Thomas given you any updates on what's happening at the state level as far as energy? Because he's on the Energy Commission.
Right.
Has he given you any updates about that, what they're talking about or what
A
they're
while
thinking
ago.
about?
Said something a while
A
ago.
little bit, but
It was a couple of months ago.
And the other thing is this board, the board that is doing anything about what we're gonna do in the town when we start having the brownouts and the blackouts? Who's working
Well,
on
our
that?
goal is hopefully to get some direction, once we get all these numbers and we get an approval from the council to go forward and actually interview prospects to maybe put in a solar panel on Auburn Road so that we can become our own kind of aggregate. And it would cover all the buildings, plus we'd have surplus energy that would cover the town.
I should send you the slides that go along with that thing that. The brownouts and blackouts are gonna start this winter. So,
Yeah, we won't be in time for this winter.
so my concern is this the committee that's gonna try to let people in town know what's going on and what, I mean, we have a lot of people.
I would think it would be like the fire department or the police, the emergency people, it wouldn't, the safety people, it wouldn't be our group. It
Because
would
we have
be-
a lot of people that are dependent upon electricity for their oxygen and for
Well,
all of that
see,
stuff.
this is why I'm saying, I think it would be them, because I think they already know some of those people for like when there's ice storms and power outages,
Yeah, but,
to do well checks on them, to make sure they're okay and things like, and I think they have a list, but
we've been told that when the blackouts and brownouts are coming, they're not even going to notify the fire department.
Right.
They're not?
No, we were
That's what
told
they
that.
were told. That's what we were told. Now, that, I could be wrong there, but I don't think so, which is unbelievable, okay?
Where is this
Go
coming
back
from?
and
Because-
listen
Pardon?
to the
When
town
we had
council
Eversource come
meeting
talk
in
to us.
February. Go
Doug
back
Thomas brought
and
them in.
listen to the town
and
council
I
meeting
think John was very
in
upset about
February.
it.
I
mean,
think
all
it
of
was
us were on the
February
council. We were like,
22nd, I'm
"What?"
not positive, from minutes, 22 minutes to 56
I wrote
minutes,
about
I
too
think
in
it
the
is.
paper.
But it's one of the town council meetings in February. 22 minutes to 56 minutes. Go back and listen to that. Roughly, I don't have it off the top of my head, but that's roughly when it is. And if you go and listen to that, when Doug presented to the town council with Eversource what was going to be happening, it was my understanding from that. Is that what you're talking about, Ray?
Yes,
It was
absolutely.
my understanding from listening to that 10 times, because that's what I've been doing, listening to it 10 times, that the town needed to put together some type of, it was my understanding, again, that the town needed to put some type of, something together. It was not my understanding that
When we talked to the
Eversource was gonna call up and say, oh, by the way, you're gonna have a brownout in this section of town, or you're gonna have, the man from Eversource, or Doug, I can't remember who, one of them said, you will be looking out your window on a bright and sunny day, and your lights will go out. That's what was said to us last February.
Yeah,
So
here's-
I
here's-
have been
Go ahead.
researching this since then. I've talked to the ISO New England, I've talked to Pennachuck, I'm having a lot of trouble talking to the state, they're very closed mouth about a lot of it. Maybe if I get elected, I'll have a better luck at talking to the state. But I have talked to several of the representatives at the state level about what they're looking to do and how this happened and stuff, so I just wondered who, so it's not you all that are
Well,
gonna do
no.
that?
What we're gonna do is on the meeting that we're going to the town council, we will bring that up.
Excuse me. Look, here's the thing. The town has a responsibility to the people, as we know. Okay, look, there is a consumer advocate up to Concord. I've met with him several times. I asked him, would you agree to come to Londonderry to explain some of this to us? He said, sure, okay? Now, I haven't gone ahead and invited him down, okay? Somebody from the town, that would ideally be, I guess, the town manager, should be in contact with Eversource, Unitil, and these other, Liberty, all of who produce power, electricity, and sell it to us. Somebody should be sitting down directly with them, okay? And getting some answers. because that's what they should be doing,
Ray,
okay?
I'm-
Now, I don't have the ability to tell them what to do, but,
I think it's just Eversource because they're the ones who
Well-
transport it.
no, it's not just Eversource. Liberty just put in for an increase too, I think.
Yeah, but that's,
But-
We're
that's,
but they're not
talking about increases,
distribution.
We're talking about
They're-
distribution.
we're talking about
We're-
distribution.
Okay,
Eversource-
no, we're
has-
talking
does
about the total
80%.
cost of electricity,
Well, no,
okay?
no, can I just explain something that I've researched
Yeah,
and
go
I
ahead.
found out? Okay.
Go ahead.
Liberty distributes to 80% of New Hampshire. They are the distributors. They are not the producers of electricity. They used to produce electricity, but a few years ago, and I can't find out exactly how many, the state told them they had to get rid of all of their energy-producing abilities. And they had to equalize the playing field for all the little companies. Like ours is a little company that we get our electricity distributed by Eversource. So Eversource does all the distribution. So Eversource only buys their electricity twice a year, August and February. That's why your rates went up in August, they will go up again in February. The little companies buy their energy whenever they feel like it. So if the prices go down, they will buy their electricity at any time. But Eversource is the one who's going to be the distributor of it, okay? So I asked at the state level, why doesn't Eversource buy it more? Because the regulations for them are so exorbitant that it's not worth their while to do it all the time. So the people that I think you really need to do with it, as far as electricity is concerned, is Eversource, because they're the ones pushing the electricity.
That's partially true. There are others that have high tension that send the electricity to the towns around New
Right.
Hampshire, okay?
Right.
It's not just Eversource.
Right, I know, but I was worried about, I think Wyndham has an entirely different they don't have Eversource, I don't think.
No, they have Liberty.
Well, Liberty's gas.
No, Liberty is more than just gas.
Yeah, okay, well, they don't, I was concerned about Londonderry, and Londonderry has,
Okay, so look, okay.
All right.
None of us know all the answers
I
here.
know, I know. I'm
okay?
sorry, and it's
None of
your
us know
meeting,
all
and
the
I should
answers
keep my
here.
mouth shut.
And my point is, we need to get the answers. Not necessarily us. It could be us. I mean, I'll gladly do it. I don't have a problem doing that, but I'm not anybody really with any authority from the town.
Right.
Okay? I guess what I'm getting at is we, as a board, need to be talking to those. Who are those? Well, I guess it is the town council, unfortunately.
And the
There I
town
go again.
manager, yeah.
Okay, no, it's the town manager, really. It's the town manager that should be having a discussion with the power company.
And I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna end this kind of thing, because we can't really do it. But I will bring that up for the next town council meeting as a concern of the energy committee. And if you give me the name of that guy,
Yeah,
I'll make sure that I can get him on. Probably it won't be though till, I don't know if I'll be able to get him on before budget, but I'll try.
It's
but
Don
remember, one of
Price.
your board members,
On crisis in me.
one of your board members is the one who, your committee members is the one who brought it to the
Correct.
town.
Right, I'm just saying, we're coming into budget season, so there's like a lot of meetings and it's a lot of crunching about numbers, and it's gonna be hard to try to pull in something outside of that, and so it either has to happen pretty quickly, or we're gonna have to wait till after the budget season.
it doesn't have to be a formal meeting.
Well, it still has to be done in the public. So there's only so many council meetings between now and budget season really gets
It
going.
could just be,
But
Ray's
it could
right.
just be
I think the
conversation
town
with
manager
Mike
can talk to the
Valverde.
utility companies. It doesn't have to be a public meeting.
Well, I understand him talking to the utility companies. I guess we can ask him to do that.
Actually, I got a meeting with them tomorrow morning.
All right, you can ask him to do that. Say this group said we were asking him to do it.
But why isn't the deliverer of the message needs to be involved in that, I would think.
Say that again?
He didn't like my delivery.
Meaning Eversource.
No,
No.
no, quite
See?
honestly, Doug Thomas is the one on the Energy Commission at the, head of
Doug
the
Thomas
Energy
could
Commission.
be of great help to us.
Right, he needs to be a help to you all, because
Right.
he's on the Energy Commission. I think he's
Correct.
head of it and has been on it for 8 years. And he's the one who brought this information to the town, so he should, in my opinion, should be,
Somebody that should have some answers.
right.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Well, you can bring it up to Mike, see where Mike wants to take it, and we'll go from there.
Well, can I say that the Energy Task Force is suggesting this?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Any other subject matters that we want to talk about? Otherwise, I think, do we pick a date for the meeting?
13th.
Okay. October 13th is the next meeting where we'll go. Hopefully Mike will figure out what he's doing. You have to show up on October 3rd.
October 3rd.
Yep, to the town council meeting.
7 p.m. Monday. I'll call you.
They'll probably throw me right off. What the hell, you talking, you kidding me?
No.
No.
They haven't thrown me
We're
out, they're not gonna
recommending
throw-
you, Ray.
Thank you, you know,
right,
maybe
is that
that would
it?
be helpful. I don't know.
Wait. All right, what, Mike?
I just want everybody to understand that, I don't know if you all got this, but the briefing that we're giving on October 17th.
Yep.
Right now, it doesn't include anything about a coordinating committee among the natural resources.
Right, no.
Yeah.
So I think if you want to do that, you could just do that individually as the chair, you know, making a suggestion.
I'm gonna contact Lynn Wiles and see if he'll come, because he also had the same idea.
But I recommend not calling it a committee or a task force, but or calling it a coordinating committee, maybe that
Oh, a
meets at the
coordinating.
call of the town planner. Because we're gonna get crossways with the staff, and I think the council, if we try to create what appears to be some kind of super authority.
No.
What would you
don't want
say?
that.
I
wanna
know
be
it's
a
not the
super
intent, I'm
authority.
just putting out a caution.
Yeah.
So this briefing you got, I think, had a blank slide in it. I'm having trouble, I should be able to get it fixed by the time, but I'm gonna just pass down. This is the missing slide. It's just got the data on it, and it's what we think is wrong, because the school is paying twice what the town is paying for electricity, and that makes
Is,
no sense at all.
so that's different than this one?
It's like it, but it's got the table on it.
See? That color.
See the
is
numbers
from
at the
you.
top?
Okay. Okay, the numbers at the top, yes.
Yeah, that's supposed to be on the slide that you were holding.
Okay, I see. Okay,
Hey, you can pass it down to Ray so we can see it.
yeah.
But like I say, I think the bottom, the school row is faulty, at least on the electricity column.
School.
I mean, it couldn't be because their buildings are bigger, or
Could be, I mean, it could be that the
the
different
doors are
rate
always
structure.
open and it's, running
It's
things
not
up.
like our
They
individual
probably keep the lights
houses
on
where
all the time.
there's a linear relationship between the amount of energy you use and the amount you pay. With the bigger consumers, they pay a penalty when they use a whole bunch at once. And that could be what's driving this, I don't know. I gotta get into the details.
Right.
As
And
they
I
say,
do
the
know-
devil's in the details.
I
Yeah.
do know about Peter Carroll retiring and Lisa taking over and that whole thing, that there's some sort of transitional stuff going on over there in the school,
I understand that.
so.
The school has activities in the evening, right? They even have games in the evening outside with lighting, okay? That is a peak time to be using electricity. So you gotta factor that in too.
Yeah.
All right, so we have anything else to talk about? Otherwise, I'm gonna end the meeting. Anything? Anybody? All right, meeting to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting is now ended.